What do you prefer, coffee or tea? Life is really all about choices. What are we going to have for supper? How do we want to wear our hair? Or what clothes are we going to choose? Where will we go on vacation? What career do we want to have? We count on that power to simply choose. Lately, maybe the most frustrating thing about our lives is that so much of our day-to-day choices are being limited or affected by a tiny little virus. We can't see it, we can't smell it, we can't touch it, yet it affects everything. So I want to talk today about the power of your choice. Maybe it feels like your choices have been stripped away. We much prefer to make our own choices, control our own destiny. We want to be able to say, I don't want tea, I prefer coffee. We all want to have the power to choose. Choice is so basic to our makeup as human beings. It's literally part of the way God made you. Joshua 24:15 says this, "If serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve." Who are we going to choose to be? How are we going to choose to behave and interact with others? That's our choice because that's how God designed us. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19 says, "I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life that your offspring may live." The power to choose is such an integral part of who we are. Even though it may seem like our choices are limited or constrained these days, the truth is we still have many choices to make. But we know not all choices are created equal. We can choose to drink coffee or tea today. We can choose what to wear. And for the most part, those choices don't affect anyone but us. But some choices do affect the world around us. They affect others. We can choose blessing or cursing, life or death, just like the book of Deuteronomy says. We can choose to prejudge people, treat them with misunderstanding because they're different than us. We can judge others by the color of their skin or their life circumstances. Or we can choose to treat everyone around us, everyone we meet, with love and respect as unique and special, the handiwork of a loving God. We have other choices we can make too, to follow public health guidelines or not. We can choose to demand our own rights and forge our own path, or we can choose to surrender our rights for the sake of a greater good. We can choose how we treat others around us, our family, our neighbors, the clerk at the grocery store. We can choose to live our lives for what we want, or we can choose to live our lives in loving service of others. These are choices that no pandemic can ever remove from you. Maybe the hardest thing you found this year because of the pandemic is the fear and anxiety and the stress. But we have a choice there too, whether or not to dwell on it. Everyone, including me, has experienced anxiety and stress about life in 2020. The best way to beat that is to make an active choice to surrender those feelings to God. Unfortunately, sometimes fear and the sense of being out of control paralyzes us. We retreat and stop reaching out to others because of simple fear. But truly, none of what happened in 2020 is a surprise to our sovereign creator of the universe. We can still trust him for everything. He still cares for us and upholds us. And none of that should stop us from serving others. So back to the coffee or tea question. If a host offered you coffee or tea and you didn't actively tell them your preference, what would happen? You would likely get whatever your host chose to give you. So by not making an active choice, you would in effect still be making a choice. Not making a choice is still choosing. So if we don't actively choose to reach out in kindness or service of others, we're in fact opting out of the opportunity to be agents for good in this world. Are we actively surrendering our ability to impact others for the kingdom of God? Are we then giving up our power to choose? You see, I believe that we still have the power to affect the life of one person, or maybe many people. We can impact this world in a positive way. We can change this world for Christ in many small and big ways, no matter what the restrictions we're facing. We may need to change the method, but the message and the urgency of the need won't ever change. So I'm offering you the opportunity to take back your power of choice. You can choose to change the world for one child, one senior in need, in your backyard or in another part of the world. You have the power to choose. You can help someone escape what seems like an unbreakable cycle of poverty. Listen to Pastor Sergei Lubchenko as he shares how he and his church and his community in eastern Ukraine have experienced the same kind of fear and worry because of the pandemic. But they chose to respond by reaching out to others and sharing the truth with people who have the most desperate of needs in the communities around them. We made a choice to support them. We made a choice to show love and care by providing the tools that they needed. They made a choice to act and stepped out in faith and changed lives. And together in our partnership, we changed those communities. Here's Pastor Sergey from across the ocean sharing his humble gratitude.
Вы знаете, люди, конечно же, были очень сильно напуганы. Самое страшное влияние вот этой болезни – это страх. Даже там, где ее и не было, по сути, знаете, просто люди были окованы этим страхом. Самое ужасное, что люди начали бояться друг друга. Вот. В нашем служении есть две дочерние церкви. Наше служение – это в основном это сельская местность, вот, да, отдаленные деревня, поселки. Вот. И когда мы пошли в эту стадию коронавируса, вот, люди с этих сел сказали: пожалуйста, не приезжайте к нам. Почему? Потому что люди боятся. Вот, и если вы приедете, говорит, то и нас, вот, и вас вместе с нами просто село может поднять на вилы. Вот. Так что сейчас в данный момент не есть администрация, чем мы можем вам помочь. Вот. Мы не хотим просто сидеть и бездействовать. Проблема большая, и мы, как Церковь Божья, хотим быть полезными. И вы знаете, на удивление, администрация нашего района вот попросила нас, чтобы вместе с администрацией ездили по всему району и раздавали эти продовольственные пакеты. Это пакеты вот от нашей администрации нашим людям. И вы знаете, когда мы ездили, мы не только раздавали, но еще и молились за людей, благовествовали. Вот. И была у нас совместная такая программа, знаете, вместе с администрацией нашего города. И нас очень сильно благодарили. И в это время Церковь Божья, она просто исполняла свою функцию. Она солила, она светила.
So, will you take back your God-given power of choice today? Will you surrender your fear of the unknown to a living, sovereign God? Will you let the simple human needs of others move your heart? Whose life will you choose to impact today? What change will you pursue on behalf of someone else? To become a part of the MPI Connect family story, visit mpiconnect.org and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. To hear more stories like this, subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.